Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, guys. So, in this particular session, doing is that we'll be basically looking at some research paper. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I should play the music or not. It's quite thingy, but still. Alright, let's go like this only. Okay, so what do we have here? Impact of selected variables on stock prices with reference to Nepalese commercial bank, right? So the thing that I need is that I need to comment out few things. Where is pen? Yep, pen, and it's 1 point. Okay, so we will be looking at selected variables, right? So what are the selected variables? Don't know yet, right? In case of Nepalese commercial bank, right? So we don't know that yet, as of yet. And then after that, so who's the writer? Basu Nepani, lecturer in NCCTU. Studies are done based on secondary sources of information, not primary, secondary sources of data. The data has been collected from website, and the descriptive and analytic research design has been used to analyze the sample, and then the data has been examined to determine the financial health of Nepal commercial banks. Financial ratios help in predicting the stock prices. That is correct. I don't have to say that, right? Financial ratios, basically it helps in predicting stock prices, right? 27 commercial banks are taking a sample for the study. The information data has been collected for the year, this year 2066. Okay, that's the year, right? The independent variables such as what are they? EPS. 1 second is what is there? Price to earning ratio, PE, and then dividend per share, then return on equity, book value per share, and the dependent variable is MPS, market price per share, right? So all these are our independent variables. Okay, so the financial ratios have been collected from financial statements of the sample banks and websites. The theoretical framework determines the dependent variable and independent variable. Theoretical framework. Hence, this event has been used to analyze the financial ratio and variable as an independent variables to predict the dependent variable, which is basically the stock price, right? Yeah, that's what it is. So in this research, 5 independent variables have been used. So how many did we write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Those are the, I won't list them, and then after that the dependent variable being stock price, right? The descriptive statistics, correlation analysis, and multiple regression models is used to state the impact of independent variable on dependent variable empirically. The models are used as a strong tool to establish and find if there is a relationship or correlation exists between the variables or not. The ratio also throws light on the ratios. This research also throws light on the ratios can help to predict stock return for the next period. Also throws light on ratios can help. Okay. The result give a clear indication that PE ratio and EPS have positive impact on the share price in the website. So basically EPS is rising, earning per share. That will also rise, right? Dependent variable will also rise. So if the price to earning ratio is growing, then the stock price will also rise. Basically, EPS thing is already price is already up there, right? Price, and then the downward thing is your market price. I mean, like EPS, and then blah blah blah. Nepalese investors can rely on the price earning ratio and the EPS to predict the market price per share. Okay, let's see it in data. Hence, the overall conclusion of this research is that financial variables direct the investors in. Let's say, really. If the answer is yes, investors can rely on PE ratio and EPS on the confidence level is 99% and significance level is below 0.01%, right? Which give clear indication that price earning ratio and EPS may influence the stock price of commercial banks in Nepal. So the stock price, yes, MPS, EPS, ROE, dividend per share, book value per share, BPS, right? So introduction. So financial variables are the most important tools for assessing and analyzing the financial performance of any firm. That is correct. For assessing and analyzing financial performance, helps to compare and analyze the firm's overall financial health of an organization based on the various financial ratios. The different stakeholders from the overall financial health of an organization based on its compare and analyze, right? That's the important word over here. Yes. Compare and analyze the overall financial health of an organization based on different ratios. The different stakeholders can use financial ratios to get an insight into the firm. Thus, historical data are used from financial statements. Financial ratios help in forecasting companies or firms' future health. Okay, they help to compare and contrast the financial performance of firms among its competitors. There comes the competition, the research, the researchers, or what is this? The researchers exploring the relationship have led to limited success owing largely to the existence of variability in the stock market. The variance in the volatility of this market make it difficult to obtain a uniform measure. The variance in volatility, that is the thing, right? The volatile stock market makes it difficult for the accounting and financial variables to accurately predict the stock price. That is correct. A role of stock exchange is to ensure the companies are able to raise required financial ratio. A powerful tool to predict the financial information can help investors make a decision whether to invest in a company or not. However, the market is making it difficult to use effective variables like cross market as stock market, stock price predictor. Additionally, ratios can efficiently predict stock market under conditions of market stability. If everything remains stable, then financial ratios will act as a good tool to predict stock price. Kendall 1953 explored whether historical data could be used to forecast future trends of price. He explained dividend yield ratio, price to earning ratio, extended to other variables like spread and interest rate, and concluded that past sequence of price movement could not be used to predict future trends. Could not be used. Beaver, 1996, examining the financial ratios can predict the future uncertainty. He concluded ratios can play a major part in predicting failure. He concluded that if financial ratios can play a major part in predicting failure. Oh yeah, this guy is like Beaver. I think he's the one who did a research on how we can predict using two-point model, I guess. Yeah, that's what he used. I think so. Let's open up. I think it was Beaver. It was the same guy. It was the same person. It must be the same person. Let's see. DuPont analysis of 20 most profitable. Not bad, I think. In this case, what is that? In this case, I think it's just about to demonstrate that blah blah blah. RA, it's not this, it's not the DuPont analysis, it's not this. I think it was something to do with failure, predicting, it helps in predicting failure or something like that. Let me just find. Effect of working capital management, that's not it. Relationship, practice of financial management, blah blah blah. Guiding principles, that's not it. No, I don't think I have that article yet. Alright, so I will definitely put up a link if I find it next time. So it can help predict the stock price patterns and trends. It is also that not all ratios are good predictors of stock return, that is correct as well. And then liquid ratio and debt ratio in terms of their predictive power. What ratio? Liquid ratio and debt ratio, right? Yeah, they basically does not make any sense. Even with the company's liquid does not mean that its net income will be in the upward trend or it's growing kind of thing, right? Debt ratio, ooh, debt ratio, okay. But what about if the investors, okay, that could be an interesting thing, but he examined and we found that, right? He suggested, not found. Okay, it must be his conclusion based on some data, right? Not just doing that. So explain Chrome 1997. So dividend per share and dividend yield can forecast growth of stock price. Okay, dividend yield, and then yeah, that can definitely do that because people know how much dividend they are getting out of it. So based on that, if the company gives more dividend, and the stocks would basically grow, right? Yeah. So Levin 2004 concludes that financial ratios are still considered a good indicator for determining company's stock price in the future. Okay, so what is that? So financial ratios are considered as good indicator. Okay, so this guy is contrast, right? So not all ratios. He says financial ratios are still considered a blah blah blah. And then the study extensively used what did he use? Dividend per earning per share, and then the dividend per share and price and ratio to predict stock prices, and conclude that the ratios are still useful in predicting stock prices. Okay, so where do you do that? It could be in different markets. So what data did this user use? That's an interesting thing. How did he conclude that? And maybe why did he say this? That's another cool important thing, right? But which market did you look at? What kind of data did you look at? That will be important thing. So okay, so Kelly and Namara 2008 examine the relationship between performance of investment in Australian common stock in the industrial sector. So common stock in industrial sector. Okay, so industrial sector, that's basically manufacturing and everything. And then their price to earning ratio, and then the final one will confirm that the price earning ratio has no effect. Okay, no effect. That was the conclusion. But okay, yeah. That'll be a cool thing to look at as well, right? Tani and Bani Khalid 2011 describe the positive relationship between earning per share, return on equity, the capital market, The stock market had a significant effect on stock trading volume. Huh? What is that? Describe the positive relationship between EPS, return on equity, and the capital market. Had a significant effect on trading volume. Okay, so that's another important thing. Okay, trading volume is also a cool variable, right? There are several accounting scandals and information affect the stock return and market value of the stock. Several accounting scandals and accounting information basically affect the stock return and market price. Market price, of course, that will be changed. But you don't know about stock return, maybe like because the market price changes, then your return also changes, right? Could be that, or could be something else. There is two possibilities, I think. I don't see any other possibilities. I don't see any other possibilities anyways. So Fun and Basana, 2011, examine the data of 45 companies. Okay, that's cool. 45 companies listed on Indian Stock Exchange and found no signs of relationship between PE and stock returns. Why? Fun and Basana. Right. So there is no relationship between price to earnings ratio and stock returns. Okay, so many kind of 2014 explore the relationship between accounting variable ratio and stock prices on a sample of 100 companies listed on Colombo Stock Exchange. Applying the simple and multiple revision analysis, the consequently that the ratios had a substantial and positive impact on the stock prices, and EPS has less effect on stock prices. Okay. So accounting variable then, okay, it has some substantial effect, however, and positive impact on stock prices. However, EPS has less effect. He has said it will have a less effect. Right? Is that why? What kind of companies do you do that data on? Like, was it growth stock, or what kind of data was, what kind of stock was that? Also, book value per share and dividend per share showed a positive effect on stock price. Okay, so book value per share and then dividend per share. I don't think that's happening in our country. 238 book value per share as of today. CIT is basically listed at 4,400. That's crazy, right? Oopsie. Alright. So Suffer et al. Examined 13 commercial banks listed on Oman Stock Exchange, the UAE. Primary objective of financial ratios and predicting stock price. They applied linear regression with multiple variables to find the relationship between financial ratios and then the stock price, right? Linear relationship. And then after that, examine the 11 financial and non-financial forms of Nepalese. Financial and non-financial. Okay, so financial could be bank and institution, right? Other institution, and then other could be like trading. During the period of this and this, you calculate that the relationship between stock price and explain role variables such as DPS, EPS, PE, PPS, MPA. Market price divided by book value, I think that's what it is. The predictors market value, P ratio are significant determinants of stock price which affect the stock price. Okay. P ratio are significant determinant. Okay. Similarly, DPS and BPS has positive influence on stock price, whereas EPS has minimum influence on stock price listed in, let's say, okay, comparatively. It's not like it does not have any influence. So I think it's just a bit of positive thing, but the constant is a bit less, right? Or the coefficient is a bit less. That's what it should be. Theoretical framework. On the basis of literature review, the dependent variable may be the market price per share, or that is stock price, and the independent variable is price earning ratio, EPS, return on equity, dividend per share, and value per share. The theoretical framework determines the dependent variable and independent variable. So independent variable and dependent variable. So what is the picture? What am I missing? So if I do white, okay, all of this, that's the dependent variable. Okay, cool. Good. So hence basically blah blah blah, and then after that let's just change back, revert back to black and white. Okay. Oh, research hypothesis. Okay. So on the literature review, the following hypotheses have been developed. So what these two hypotheses? There is a significant association between significant association between E and T as a predictor of market price for share. Okay, so same as EPS2, blah blah, everything, right? So just same thing. And then what did you do? What is the research methodology? So research methodology has been used to collectively analyze and draw conclusions. So basically it's secondary sources of data, right? The data has been collected from, let's say, descriptive as well as analytical research that has been used to analyze the sample. The data has been examined to determine the valuation of Nepal commercial banks. Financial ratios have been predicting stock returns. That is correct. That's just a hypothesis, right? But why are you using financial ratios help in predicting? So over here, isn't this a bad thing? Like, your hypothesis is right here. So these are your financial ratios, right? So it's one of the financial ratios. And if this, you are examining whether this is a predictor or not, and then right away in the methodology you are saying financial ratios help in predicting stock returns. The 28 commercial banks issued on FSA was selected as a sample, but the Rashtriya Bank is Nepal on their own, so it's not taken as a sample that because it's not listed. Hence 27 commercial banks are taken as a sample for blah blah blah. And then the independent variable for the year of this year, right? And then has been financial data has been collected from the sample bank and FSA. The research follows the quantitative research design. The descriptive statistics, correlation coefficient, and multiple correlation or multiple regression analysis are used to analyze the financial data and to draw the conclusion by testing the hypothesis. This will give the outlook of stock volatility and help to understand. This will give the outlook of stock volatility and help to understand the general trend. Okay, as well as then I don't know, not a grammar in this language expert. So determining the general trend in the market for this will give a clear indication about the trend of stock price and explain the variability. Right? The correlation function is done to find the multiple collinear relationship between independent variable, blah blah blah, all this, and the dependent variable NPS, right? It's basically the relationship between this and that, and variation is just the equation kind of thing. Okay. And then the correlation is based to test the relationship between independent variable and for testing whether multiple collinear relationship can be found between them. That's very find model is stepwise multiple correlation model. The model becomes helpful to find if the scientific case you have good predictor of stock price or not. The model comprises and whatever coefficient, standard error, t-stat, the data is less than 30, p-value, okay, and then these models are examined and explained. Independent variables, the three models, descriptive statistics, correlation analysis, and regression model of them to test the research objective. Okay, result. What's the result? So what was the mean x bar? Then what was our standard deviation? 174.263. Mean was that, minimum was that, right? Maximum was that, 836. Earning per share, right? Price earning ratio 15, and then mean was that. Standard deviation was 3, deviation, okay, that's like not so much, it's kind of dispersed, right? 3 is like minimum is that is minus 3, 12. Could be around there, and then more on the higher side, right? Maximum is that. Then EPS earning per share is 23 for me. Standard deviation is that, so variation of that. And then 7, and then minimum is that. 47 is that. Our mean is around 23. Okay, that's very downward sided, right? 7 and 23. What's the difference? 7 could be 15. It's very on the low side of the spectrum, right? Very on the low side. Why was that? What did that happen? Why is there so much gap between different banks? Could be a good question. ROE, return on equity, was 14.44. I think. Okay, so 3 point something was the difference. So that's alright, that's not so much variation in that, and then 14 is the mean. Okay, return on equity. Maybe that did not happen because even though that was thingy, and then but right, could be that reason. Return on equity, that's your profit, that's your equity, right? And then dividend per share is this much. Okay, so EPS was that much. You gave a dividend of this much. More than return on equity, right? What was the, maybe there was some return on that debt kind of thing as well, maybe. Standard deviation, don't know. 9.1, so that's very dispersed. So minimum was 0, dividend was 0 as well. Okay, 9 was 166. Standard deviation, okay, 14, and that's a huge difference. The table describes the mean, standard deviation, and minimum, and all this this variables for that year, right? The mean stock price for 27, this is 357.22. Standard deviation is 174.263. The minimum stock price is this. 9 banks mean stock price is greater than average. Okay, so what do you mean? 9 banks stock price is basically greater than the average. Okay, so they are greater than 357.22, right? And then rest 18 of them is below, so that's why it is downward. Alright, so see the maximum value is 836, whereas our mean is only 357, right? So 400 difference. That's a huge difference. So you can see in the standard deviation as well, 174.263 is the difference, right? So only 9 of them are basically the same. Most of the banks cannot track investors, that is correct as well. So earnings per ratio has a mean of 15.01, and then the standard deviation of 3.01. The lower standard deviation than the mean, lower deviation than the mean, right? The mean indicates the stock price has high deviation. That is correct as well, because price to earning ratio is that. So basically, if there is a change in price earnings ratio, EPS, there will be a change in price as well. So if the mean is that, then that means if there is a transformation of that, so that's more volatile kind of thing, right? stock price is where am I reading? Has a high variation. Since the lower deviation, then the indicates lower deviation, right? Minimum price or variation from this to this, and then the such stock is considered overvalued. So P/E ratio means that the stock is overvalued. So the variation of P/E ratio means that investors are expecting higher returns, higher earnings. The 8 banks P/E ratio is greater than the mean value, and interest rating is less than the average. This indicates maximum banks cannot earn sufficient returns as per expectation. So there will be disappointment. The mean value of PS is this. So mean value of 11 bank is above the average. Okay. There is 16 is a thing. This shows that the greater variation of stocks earnings encourages to the investor for short sell the stock to realize the gain. Could be, but you can't conclude like this as well, right? The market that you are in could have been a better thing to do some research kind of thing. The mean value of ROE is return on equity. This is the standard deviation is marginally low. So the minimum earning is 7.10, the maximum is this much. So mean value of 14 banks is greater and less 12 banks is below the mean values. Which half of the listed banks cannot earn sufficient income. Okay. So mean value of dividend per share is this much, and then the variation of dividend is higher among the variation of DPS dividend per share is higher among the commercial banks. Are high dividend may attract probable investors that can help increase the stock price. The stock price is decreased. Those banks which pay fewer dividends, that is true, maybe. The mean value per share of commercial bank is this much, standard deviation is this much, minimum and maximum is this much. So mean value of 9 commercial bank is basically higher. Okay, same thing as above, right? But lost a lot of cases. Less risk 16, less than average. UPS shows that most do not have internal equity fund. Okay, so correlation analysis is done to find multiple correlation relationship between two variables and to understand whether one variable has any impact on the other variable, right? So that is just normal correlation. So market price and market price, of course, there will be a one correlation in that, not any big thing in that. However, if we see over here correlation between EPS and market price is this much, okay, and return on equity and EPS is this much, okay. Okay, anyways, this is very near, so 0.895, 0.5 blah blah, dividend per share is this, earnings per ratio is this, BPS thing is that, so it's 210, right? N is 27, so of course you have to do a t-test, so correlation is significant at 0.1 level, so what's that, 1%, yeah. So the correlation among the variables are, we have average correlation with market price, but EPS is higher positive correlation. Yep, that's correct. So other rest is basically hovering around 50 to 60, right? So basically that's considered medium, I guess. That is highly correlated. Book value per share and EPS and book value per share, yeah, okay. course, if your earning per share is lower, your book value per share will be lower, right? If you're earning more, you will have more money. So the positive correlation of 0.895 is found, okay, between EPS and stock price. The general trend in the sector variables have positive relation with the stock price. There is no multiple collinear between the variables. As per Ratner 2009, the correlation of above 0.90 is considered of having a multi-collinear relationship. The analysis was done to explore the relationship among the independent variable and the stock price. Regression analysis. The regression analysis is considered to be extremely important in the research which compares two variables. So if one variable has the predictable ability to predict another variable, regression analysis is uses of statistical techniques for organizing as to which variable can indeed have an impact. Okay, so the t-test and t-test will give the exact result to prove the hypothesis. These will be deeply explored in this analysis. The entire multiple regression model is calculated at first, and then stepwise regression model is used to identify the predictor as follows. Okay, so multiple regression model is calculated at first. So y is the dependent variable. So and then the independent variable x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. So these are the coefficients of that variable. Pi is our regression residual or error terms. So what is this? Let's see. So the multiple regression analysis enter method is used to measure the independent variable to determine the statistically significant or not. So R is 0.994. R square is that. So basically it has a 98.8% of predicting the changes kind of thing, right? Adjusted R square is that. Standard error of statement is that. So predictor is basically that, right? A. And our table is degree of freedom is 5, right? F is 338.822. What's the coefficients? Okay, minus 363.8 blah blah, and then 17 point something. Standard error is also there. Beta is also there. T-test. Stepwise multiple regression analysis is used to identify the predictive power of independent variable to the dependent variable. Significance anything less than 0.5. Yep, there is dividend per share, book value per share. Okay, in this case it was everything, right? In this case only one. Maybe offered a 2 in this case, so EPS and price to earning ratio was taken. Square was this much, residual was this much, total was this much. Similarly, what is this? Constants are over here. So basically ANOVA test is to find the result of data analysis as significant or not, and then basically so degree of freedom is degree of freedom for regression is 5, that is k. It implies that there are 5 independent variables, right? Yep, there are 5 independent variables, and then the residual of df is n minus k minus 1, so it's 27 minus 5 minus 1. So 25, 27 minus 5 minus 1, 21, right? So F ratio is the variation between the group divided by the variation within the group. Variation between the groups divided by variation within the group. The larger F value indicates more difference between the group than between the groups than within the group, right? And then after that the F value is 747. Where is that? It's where 747.619. What is that? Between EPS and price to earning ratio. So the F value is 717. Only EPS and P ratio greater than critical value. There are differences between the groups, right? Greater than the critical value. What's the critical value of that? 519. Okay, whatever the critical value was. And then the p-value of f test 6 0.00 is less than 0.001. Highly statistically significant. Where is that? Yep, it's less than 0.001. So the confidence level for this research was 99%, but the stepwise multiple variation of n whatever source that other independent variable R, O, DPS are not statistically significant. Okay. In this 2 case only, right? So the discussion, the test statistics measures the statistics measures the relationship between the sample data and its hypothesis. Measures the relationship between sample data and since the stock price is very volatile and changes randomly, the test statistics have enough information from the sample data and power to reject the hypothesis. That is correct. So when the test statistics value is too high, the p-value is very low. So our high t statistics and low p-value indicates to accept the alternative hypothesis. That is correct. The higher the t-value indicates there is significant association between financial ratios as a predictor of stock prices in listed commercial companies in an website. So hence high t statistics and lower p-value less than 0 can be used to predict stock prices. That is correct. High t statistics, right? Significant association. So as per ANOVA table of multiple regression equation stepwise method indicate the two hypotheses. So basically PE and EPS should be accepted as significantly strong predictor. That is correct. PE and EPS, right? And other hypotheses would not be accepted. So this indicates that if 1% increase in PE and EPS, the positive impact on the market price by 16.576% and 24.174 respectively. Let's see about that. 16.5 blah blah and then 12 point something, right? Yeah, that's correct. only two of them are accepted, P and then earnings per share is expected. So this research was conducted for examining whether financial variables can predict the stock price for 27 commercial banks listed in NEPSEC. In this research, 5 independent variables were used: price to earning ratio, EPS, dividend, blah blah blah, with different variable stock price. Descriptive statistics, correlation analysis, multiple regression models, and then these were strong tools to establish the relationship existed within the variables. The research also throws some light on ratios can help to predict the stock returns for the next year. Results gave a clear indication that the P ratio and EPS have the positive impact on stock price in the NEPSEC. Hence, the Nepalese investor can rely on EPS and earning ratio and EPS to predict the market price per share. Hence, the overall conclusion of this research is that financial variables direct the investors in NEPSEC, and if the answer is yes, investors can rely on PS, P and EPS on a confidence level of 99% and significance level is below 0.01, which is clear indication that price to earning ratio and EPS in NEPSEC. Alright, that was a good read, right? So that's it for today. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.